So we're live. We're live on today's show. So far today I'm going to talk about comics. Well, the ones I bought. And kind of talk about, review some of them I bought. I read a couple of them, and most of them are like detective comics and stuff, so anyway, it's been a while since I bought comics and stuff, and I've been going through some of them some that I have, and a lot of, some people I'm close to have been asking if I'm going to be selling some of them, and no. So anyway, one of the ones I bought is actually a cool how to draw book, which I've tried drawing Batman, and I'm very shitty at drawing. So, anyway, it's been kind of crazy lately. So, anyway. So anyway, I've been also wanting to talk about the DC. Yeah. I'm going to be talking about the DC EU fans. It's been a while since I posted. Since I hosted a show. For those who haven't heard, Monday I took antibiotics, which isn't a good thing. I took antibiotics because I had this infection, a sinus infection, which started. Luckily, it was detected early, and luckily, my doctor was just like, "So what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I've been sneezing a lot," and he goes, "Oh, what's in it?" I was like, "Well, I sneeze this brown stuff, and there's a little bit of blood in it." And he goes, "You're getting started for the infection." So I had to take these antibiotics, which is the bad thing about antibiotics is one, it kills the infection. The second part is it makes you fart. If you don't eat anything, you will almost shit yourself, which is not a good thing. And to tell you the truth, I don't feel like shitting my pants yet. I'm going to save that for later in life. So, I've been taking antibiotics, and it's so far one thing I've noticed taking the antibiotics is that I've lost a bit of weight over it. Even though you eat something, it's you take antibiotics, and it's But I've noticed that, I've been I haven't been eating heavy stuff. I've been eating yogurt, cheese stick. So I've been eating a lot of light stuff, something it's been helping and stuff. So for me, I am feeling a lot better, which is great. Yesterday was pretty rough. It was a rough day, and I don't feel like talking about that yesterday. So for me, it's been 2020's been kind of a rough start for me, so it's gonna get a lot better. I'm positive of it. I always believe in hope and positivity of things, it's going to get a lot better. And I cannot wait for summer. So anyway, I want to talk about the stuff I wanted to talk about yesterday was, like, I started yesterday talking about the dceu and how, oh, I love you too. I've wanted to talk about the dceu, and one thing that happened yesterday that I read that I did get to watch one movie yesterday. Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I did get to watch that one. And the Ben Affleck scene, man, that just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, it was it was sort of like a mini Chasing Amy sequel. And I'm a Ben Affleck fan. It annoys me nowadays with, like, and it's not Robert Pattinson's fault. It's not his fault. It annoys me that everybody's now, like, turning their back on Ben Affleck by saying, oh, he was a shitty Batman. He wasn't that good. It's like, bullshit. And there's, like, 3 adaptations of characters that I am a fan of and I was excited to see. Of the DC unit, well, 2 of the DC, 1 Marvel. The Marvel one was The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. I love that movie. Like, I am an Incredible Hulk fan. And I was excited to see, this version of Hulk. Like, this version of Hulk was something that I always wanted to see. I wanted to see, like, this violent fucking monster creature that is Hulk. And of course it got replaced by Mark Ruffalo, who I'm not a big fan of, but I like Mark Ruffalo. He had a rough life too. He had I think a tumor or something. When he found out he had a tumor and his wife was pregnant with their first child, and he had a very rough, and I think his brother got murdered. And so he had a rough life, and he is not a bad Hulk. I mean, he wants to do more Incredible Hulk movies, which you can't really blame him. But they kind of made him a satire character. They made a joke out of him, which annoyed the fuck out of me when I seen Thor Ragnarok in the theaters and stuff. And the Ben Affleck Batman was like the version of Batman that I've kind of wanted to see for a long time. I wanted to see this older, grizzled Batman who's seen and been through shit. And he suddenly comes back and he, is gonna, and he ends up kicking the shit out of this alien being that has godlike powers. That was awesome. That was like something I wanted to see for a long time. And now it's like, it's annoying that a lot of people on Twitter and stuff sort of turned their back on him because they got Robert Pattinson's Batman. And I predicted it. I predicted it last year that a lot of people are going to jump, were against the Pattinson Batman, and now they've seen him. Now they jump on the wagon that this is our Batman. Fuck the last Batman. They did it with Christian Bale. Like when Ben Affleck's version of Batman showed up and they seen the suit and everything, they criticized, they mocked Christian Bale's Batman voice and look and all that. It annoys the shit out of me that people jump on the wagon for the next thing and shit on the last thing. It annoys me. And it bothered the fuck out of me for a while. And the other one I wanted to see for a long time and we finally got was Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing happened. And I remember the first episode when he showed up, I was like, Swamp Thing, I need a tissue. I was like crying because I was finally happy to see this character finally appear and stuff. And it, I understand like criticizing things, and I mean I'm guilty of it. I criticize the way they done John Stewart Green Lantern in Arrow, where they made Diggle John Stewart, which was dumb. I just hope they don't ruin Hal Jordan. Like, Hal Jordan's like, one of the great Green Lantern characters, and I remember. Yeah. Like Green Lantern's like one thing I'm going to be kind of protective of, because it's like it's something that is kind of close to me now, and I really love the character of Green Lantern. I hope they do everything right. I still believe they should do a Green Lantern movie. Like, I mean, now they announced Sinestro is going to be in the Green Lantern show. So anyway, that's the thing about it. Like, I'm still going to be the Batfleck. Affleck was the bomb as Batman, yo. Batfleck like a motherfucker. I love that part. Like, that part made me laugh. But the one that I'm gonna find it. The one that made me laugh it didn't make me laugh, but it just made me go like, man, it was the where he talked about the Chasing Amy part, where he gives this speech of like he's a dad, he's no longer Bruce Wayne, he's Thomas Wayne. And that part just kind of hit me. It was like, man, this guy just admitted that he is no longer Batman. Here it is. I found it. Hopefully you can hear it.
What do you think, kiddo? You like these sneaky old fools? Dude, how did something so amazing come from your funny book making balls? It's a mystery to me too, G. I'm a huge fan of that kid. Mothman's getting a reboot. Netflix is making Amy. I hate the present so much, it's like they want to retreat into the past. All of a sudden, all my old bullshit is back. Some of that old bullshit meant the world to me when I was starting out.
It was kind of like
the dreams are starting to come true. I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong. That kid is just way more interesting to me. I used to think life was all...
It made me like look at the scene. I'll share it on Twitter. The scene just made me like think like he kind of like reflects on his life, like everything he's done. Because a lot of the films that he did, like a lot of people know him for, was the Askew-averse films, like the Jay and Silent Bob, like Mallrats, Dogma. He did Chasing Amy, and what was the other? He appeared in Clerks too. I remember that one. I hope he appears in like Clerks 3 and Mallrats 2. Like, I hope he appears in those, man. Those would be great stuff. But Affleck talked about Batman, which I was like, it hit me like a ton of bricks the way he talked about Batman. But he talked about his divorce and stuff. Like, it was the biggest regret of his life, which it's sad to hear that. So Affleck says he was told he would drink himself to death if he played Batman again. Ben Affleck starred in the Batman v Superman and Justice League, but Robert Pattinson take the title role of the Batman. Affleck opened up about his struggles with sobriety. Struggles with sobriety affect his career, notably his role as Batman. In an interview with the New York Times published on Tuesday, the actor told the outlet why he will not be in the upcoming Batman movie. which he set out essentially to direct and act in. And after having played the DC hero in both Dawn of Justice and Justice League, he said, quote, I showed somebody the Batman script, the 47-year-old said. They said, I think the script is good. I also think you'll drink yourself to death if you go through what you just went through again. Meaning Justice League. I take it that Justice League kind of wore him out. Because, I mean, he did the film. Then they turned around and did reshoots. And if you watch some of the scenes, he was in shape. He was in top physical shape. But the reshoots, he looked really out of shape. He looked really not wanting to be there type of look. And you kind of see it in the final battle scenes with Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa. He just didn't look in shape, and which it saddened me because it was just like, man, like one of my favorite actors is like not in the best fucking shape for a movie ever. It's like you could just tell it. Like even the scene where the Superman resurrection scene, like he kind of looked fat. I don't want to sound mean, but he looked fat. He just didn't look in shape and stuff. After's been open about his struggles with addiction, starring in the upcoming film The Way Back, which I think is going to be the best film at the beginning of 2020. I think it looks really good. It looks like a good film. It really echoes with his own experience with alcoholism and his divorce. The actor took years to admit his own struggles, saying, it took me a long time to be a functionally, deeply, without hint, and admit to myself I am an alcoholic. He continues the times. The next drink will not be different. Still, as Affleck continues to work through his recovery and acknowledgments, it is particularly not healthy for me to obsess over the failures, the relapses, and to beat myself up. I have certainly made mistakes, and I have certainly done things I regret, he had. But you got to pick yourself up, learn from it, and learn some more. Try to move forward. The Way Back will be out in October. Be out in March 6th. I was gonna say October. I mean, I kind of understand his point of view. Is like, you know, they're like people have addiction things, caffeine, which I'm guilty of. I have an addiction to caffeine, and stuff. I'm happy that he got help. I'm happy that he did that. Do I think he'll be back as Batman? Well, it says he's contracted to do another one, him and Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill most likely will show up as Superman, but Affleck, I kind of doubt he will come back and stuff. And I think that what happened with Batman was he says that there was troubles with production of Justice League, which I think we all kind of knew that. Let's see. Speaking in New York Times, he also explained behind-the-scene problems with Justice League. It snapped his interest. He said there was too much for him to handle alongside the breakup of his marriage with alcoholism. Justice League took a toll on Affleck. We have learned about its production. Perhaps it's surprisingly, especially if his sobriety was on the line. Hopefully, Robert Pattinson easier goes with Batman. I think everybody kind of knew with it. Like they say, like Dawn of Justice was a big letdown for him, I think, because like they cut the film and it made it confusing for people. Like Warner Brothers had this backseat driver mentality. This backseat driver mentality where they're like, okay, you go this direction. It's like who's the one holding the steering wheel? Is it the director or is it the producers and stuff? And what I've heard about the Batman film that he wrote, like they said, it was like the biggest film that would have been the biggest Batman film ever, but also the darkest Batman film ever made. Which saddens me not to see that one, because like I never got to review Justice League. I never got around to like ever talking about it. Like it was one of those films that you saw, you sort of kept to yourself. Or you get on Twitter and just like, this film's shit, this film is bad. The thing about it was, I love dark, grim superhero films. I love dark films, dark superhero films. And that's the thing about it. Like, I like to be sad when I see a film at times. I like to feel the emotions and feelings that the characters have in a superhero film. Like, if you ever watch Man of Steel, you feel his pain, you feel his happiness, you feel the character. It was the same way with the Batman Dark Knight trilogy. And Dawn of Justice, you felt the same way as Bruce Wayne, if you're a Batman fan. And you would feel the same way as Superman. There was really two different emotions that you had. You could be, you were either Team Batman or Team Superman on who you were with. I was with Team Batman because fuck Superman. But you got to feel the emotions of the character. You got to feel the scene. Justice League, it was just like, it was kind of all over the place. It was really all over the place. You didn't know where it was going and stuff. And that's what really bothered me. It was just like all these reshoots that they did, everything that they did, it really fucked up the story of Justice League. And the sad part was, it was the lowest box office film opening, and now Birds of Prey took that award. Now, I really want to talk about this one. The DCEU fans are what's left. I'm sure there's some. I know some people are like, I'm still with the DCEU train. I'm really at the point where I'm just tired of DC fans, DC comic fans. And I'm one of them. I'm a diehard Batman fan, a diehard DC Comics fan, from the beginning when I was a little kid. But now it's just, I'm tired of. It's not really the comics fans. There's some that are just kind of annoying. Mainly the Harley Quinn fans. But I am just fucking tired of the DCEU crowd. It's at a point where it's annoying. Like, what kind of like crossed the line for me was them going at Shazam, the guy who played Shazam, where he said like, there is no Snyder cut, even though there's a lot of them like, there is a Snyder cut, and they post like the photo of like Vero that Zack Snyder has, where it's like he shows the stock film and all that. It was just a comment. It was really that. It was a comment, like, and stuff. It was his opinion. Like, someone asked him, and he just gave his opinion. Like, there is no fucking Snyder cut. It was his opinion of it. And every time you see a post of the... Anytime you see a post of like a comic book film from Warner Brothers or a Batman comic or something, you always get release the Snyder cut, and it's release the Ayer cut. And for me, it's annoying to see it. It's really childish and annoying. Like, if there was a Snyder cut, Zack Snyder, I'm sure, would be like, hey, to Warner Brothers, can you release my director's cut? They would have done it. They would have done it. Let me show you something. Well, I can't show you on YouTube, but let me read you something. I'm going to look up Watchmen. The 2009 Watchmen movie, which is, believe it or not, 3 hours and 35 minutes. And it was rated R. Watchmen made over $185.3 million at the box office from a budget to $130 to $138 million. They released 3 different fucking versions of this film. 3 different versions of Watchmen. 3 different versions of the Watchmen movie. Yeah. 3 different versions of it. One that combines an animated film that was based on the comic within the comic of Watchmen. 3 different versions of it. Warner Brothers released that because Snyder wanted a complete full version of Watchmen. That's what Snyder wanted. I'm sure Snyder has pull in Warner Brothers that he would release the film by now. When did Justice League come out? Like 2017? 18? I know 2017 it came out. I know there was supposed to be a sequel that was supposed to be made and it would be released last year, and it would probably be out on DVD and Blu-ray by now. That's a joke, by the way. So there was 2 hours in Justice League. Justice League made at the box office $657 million off a $300 million budget. I'm sure. Well, hold on. Worldwide, it broke to $750 million, becoming the highest-grossing film of 2019 as of 2019. To become a box office bomb, losing, distributor Warner Brothers estimated $60 million. $60 million they lost. I'm sure by now, they would have released a DVD version of the director's cut, or they would have released it on HBO Max to make back that $60 million. They would have done it by now. The point I'm making is there's probably no fucking director's cut. And the Shazam guy, Zachary Levi, I think is his name, said that Joss Whedon shot the scenes that Snyder was going to shoot, but Snyder had to step away because of personal issues. So there isn't really a Snyder cut. In my opinion, there really isn't. And I'm sure there's no way that, from storyboard art of Darkseid, I'm sure Warner Brothers would not chip in extra money just for Zack Snyder to film that fucking scene and put it in the film. I'm sure there's probably no way Warner Brothers would do it, in my opinion. So, get over it. Listen, I'm sad and bummed that there will never be a Ben Affleck Batman movie. I'm really disappointed in that. It sucks. I was very annoyed. I went through the Teen Titans Go 5 stages of grief. I'm still on step 4. For those who never seen it, it's a funny scene in Teen Titans Go. But unfortunately, we have to move on. Do I think Pattinson's going to do a phenomenal job as Batman? I'm sure. You know, I'm sure. I'm going to go see it when it comes out. I'm going to wear my Ben Affleck Batman shirt just to piss off a few people. But it sucks that there will never be a full version of Justice League that we all would want to see after seeing the photos and storyboard. So anyway, I want to talk about another what is the term? Another group of fans that kind of annoy me. I want to talk about the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy fans. So, let's see, someone, Spreaker left you a comment. Yep. A lot of people are like agreeing with me on Twitter over the Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. Like one person wrote, right, where's his 5 kids? That is the weirdest thing about the Lori Vallow case, is that Chad Daybell's 5 kids never spoke in a fucking interview. So that one always annoyed me. Anyway, one thing that kind of I noticed, by the way, I do love the Tom King art piece, the Tom King drawing that they released of Batman Catwoman, which is pretty cool. On Batman's birthday, Tom King dropped this photo of Batman holding a pregnant Catwoman in his arms, which I fucking love that. I knew that was going to happen in a weird way. In my mind, I kind of predicted, like, they're going to show Catwoman pregnant. It's perfect. I love it. I'm excited for this new Batman comic. It's finally happening. So anyway, one thing I kind of noticed, like, anytime you kind of type in Batman, Catwoman type of thing, a lot of the fucking K-pop group is trying to invade the K-pop. They're trying to get involved in the Batman Catwoman thing, which is kind of annoying. But also, one person dropped this one: the Batman The Adventures continues will feature characters which did not appear in the TV show. By the way, I'm reading about the Batman Adventures Continues, which is a new digital comic that is going to be coming out pretty soon of the Batman, the animated series, the new Batman Adventures, continuing in a comic. So they revealed that Cassandra Cain is going to be appearing in it. No, not Cassandra. Cassandra Cain. Sorry, I'm thinking of Stephanie Brown. I always get them mixed up. Jason Todd, the Red Hood, Deathstroke, Azrael, and more. And someone released a Cassandra Cain drawing that Paul Dini did, which I am excited to see that. I did not enjoy the Cassandra Cain from the Birds of Prey. I'm sorry, I know this is going to sound offensive, but how do you replace somebody who's like a badass version of Batgirl that never, never adapted in live action form? How in the fuck did they take this character and made her a chubby, annoying Asian girl? Can someone explain it to me and not use the term "you're racist" for that comment or "you're fat shaming"? It's a question I really want to know. Like, how did you take... I know, right? I hate that Birds of Prey movie. It's like, I seen clips of it. My uncle's seen it, by the way. My one uncle, Terry, who is a Marvel fan. He sees any comic book film. He went to go see the film. Him and my cousin. They went to go see the film. Because at the time I was taking antibiotics, and when I take that, I am not going to go to a movie because, no, my luck, I would fart and possibly shit myself. I would probably use that defense just to get the fuck out of the movie. Shitting my pants, not to go see Birds of Prey. I know someone's gonna make a comment where they're like, that is offensive, and that just shows how people just hate Birds of Prey. It's like, it's a joke, okay? It's a joke. But they went to go see the film, and they left right in the middle of the movie. They got up, walked right out of the theater in the middle of the movie because it was that bad. As my uncle puts it, it was an atrocious shitstorm of a film that should never got made to begin with. And my cousin, by the way, is the one who hosts a morning show on a country music station. And he was doing like this movie review thing, and he saw it and he was just like, dude, it was bad. He's like, there wasn't any people in the theater. They all went to go see other films. It was just, I was like, really? It was that bad? He goes, yeah. He goes, I wish you were there, man. You'd probably be like... I said to him, like, if I went to that movie, you would have to give me money to go see that film. You'd have to pay me to see that film. Or let me co-host a morning show with you. It would be one of those things. I was just kidding about the co-hosting part, but yeah, you had to pay me to go see the film. I would not see it. But it annoyed me because it was just like they made this film. They made this film, and it looks so like a PG-13 film. It really does. It looks like a PG-13 film. It doesn't look R-rated. I don't care what violent scenes you have in it. It was just that bad of a film. I mean, it was more offensive than Black Canary's brother, Jesse Smollett, faking a hate crime. Hoaxing a hate crime. It's that bad. It was that offensive of a movie that you would hope, I know somebody's going to get mad about that one, but, it's my opinion of it. Anyway. So. Anyway, someone released also a photo of the bat symbol for Warner Brothers' new Batman game, which they are, I think, rebooting it. Anyway, I want to get to the Harley Quinn thing, because the TV show is getting a lot of like negative feedback. Hold on. So, a lot of fans, I'm going to use air quote fans, who watch the Harley Quinn show, are upset about a character in the show. Harley Quinn fans of the character Harley, who likes the shipping of Harley and Ivy, which it's kind of well, anyway, I will give my opinion of it. I'm going to read what a lot of them wrote. One person wrote, I think, now I think about the Harley Quinn TV show. They're mad because over the Harley-Ivy kiss in the comics. The Harley Quinn TV show baited us, and it baited us, and it baited, sorry. This person cannot write fucking English. The Harley Quinn show, TV show, baited us, and it baited is hard. Can you just put it baited us so hard? Instead of like, someone needs to learn grammar. Instead of the Harley kissing Ivy, we got Harley dating Kite Man. On top of that trailers, it made it look like Harley was going to be a thing. What a fucking disgrace. So... it just made me kind of like... One person wrote, I know, I love Harley. I love the Kite Man Ivy relationship thing. It made it really like... I mean, here's the thing. Here's another one. I want to take a second to say this. The Harley Quinn web TV show gives me more strength than... Oh, well, yeah. This person really loves the show because of the themes of, like, Harley, dealing with abuse and getting, recovering from it and finding herself. One person wrote, to be honest, it's fresh to have Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy not in a lesbian relationship. I like them in the TV show because they have a healthy friendship between two women. Lesbian relationships are too often mirrored in fan service and pandering. I do agree with that. And that's the thing about it. It's like, why do you have to have them together? Like, why can't they just be, two friends who have a common interest? And that's making a name for themselves and trying to be the best at what they do. And I like the Kite Man Ivy relationship. It's different. It's like, why does Ivy have to be in a relationship with just Harley? Why can't she be in a relationship with another villain like Kite Man? Like, why does it always have to be that? I mean, Harley Quinn slept with Deadshot, Joker, I can't really think of anybody else, but why does it always have to be like, well, Ivy, Harley's not with Joker? Well, put her with Ivy. It's like, why does Harley have to be in a relationship with someone? Why can't she just be her own individual? And stuff. Why can't Ivy just be her own individual? Why do you have to, like, force them together in a relationship? It's just... And here's the thing about it, like, they show in the show that Harley isn't interested in being in a relationship with Ivy. She's not. She just wants a best friend. And the thing about it is, like, I look at Ivy in the show sort of like this big sister type character to Harley Quinn. I really do. I look at it as they're more like sisters than they are lovers or something. Like, I just look at it that way. And that's the thing about it. It's like Harley and Catwoman. Catwoman's more like the rebellious big sister, and Ivy's more of the, I don't know what to put it, like the serious big sister. Like, that's the thing about it. It's like, why do you have to put these characters in a relationship? Enough with the force, LGBTQ thing. And I know a lot of people accuse me of being homophobic, which I'm not. I don't really give a shit who you date or whatever. I don't fucking care. Just stop forcing ideological viewpoints down everybody's throat about things. Fuck you about that. And I like Ivy and Kite Man. They're both, polar opposites, but they work. I mean, shit, when Ivy, spoiler alert, gets killed by Joker, Kite Man's crying. He's crying and upset over someone he loves and cares about dying. Harley's just holding her. Don't know what to tell you about that one. So, and I know someone asked, like, if Harley Quinn's going to be renewed for a second season. Yeah. She's going to be back for another season. I hope it's soon. Not waiting a year. Young Justice. So, one thing I'm excited about is... One thing I want, honestly, in another episode of Harley Quinn is I want to see Robin. I want to see Damian Wayne, who is sweet potato pie, in another episode. That's what I want. I want another episode of Damian Wayne. I want him to show up again. I love that episode. That is my favorite episode of the Harley Quinn show. I want to see Damian. I want to see John Kent. I want to see them together, trying to disrupt Harley's crew and stuff. I want to see that episode. Like, I want to see them, like, pranking them or something. Like, I want that. I want that episode. And I want to see Catwoman in an episode. That's one thing I want to see before the Damian Wayne, John Kent episode is Catwoman showing up. That's what I want. So, anyway. By the way, that is my favorite episode moment. Besides Bane saying my name, which kind of scared the shit out of me. That was a good episode, too. But my favorite moment, besides the Damian Wayne episode, was Bane and Joker talking on the phone. That is something in my mind, I never thought I ever wanted to see. But I wanted to see it. I love that moment. I love that they just have, like, this normal conversation. Like, they're just two normal people who happen to be psychotic talking about and Joker going like, she crashed the stupid thing. That was just like my favorite moment. And you also got to see Kite Man knock out a little girl with this giant kite. That was something I in my mind I never thought I wanted to see as well, but I love it. I love that moment too. So I love the Harley Quinn show, and I don't ever want to see it become politically correct or change or anything, because it is just a unique show that just steps over all boundaries of things. So I not only if I hope they renewed it for another season, but I hope they renewed for like 3 more seasons. I want to see more of the show. I don't want to see them taken forever like one certain show, Young Justice. So for me, I love it. And by the way, if they ever try, oddly enough, I want to say this. If they ever have the thoughts about redoing Harley Quinn for like the Robert Pattinson's Batman verse, I think they should get Kaylee Cuoco. Is that her name? Kaylee Cuoco from Big Bang Theory, who does the voice of Harley but also produces the show. They should get her to play Harley Quinn in Robert Pattinson's Batman. She actually nails the voice. Like, she doesn't give it that annoying kind of southern accent, like some weird accent. Like, she doesn't overdo the voice like Margot Robbie. She actually gives Harley like her own thing, her own, talking. I actually want to see Kaylee Cuoco play Harley Quinn in the Robert Pattinson's Batman now. They just need to get the right Joker. So, anyway, I did buy new comics. I did mention that. Anyway, I bought the Detective Comics 603, which I forget who the character is. Batman teams up with I forget his name. Jason Blood is the name, but I forget the other. I think the Demon or something. I forget. I bought 2 Detective Comics. 3 technically. 3 Detective Comics at V-Stock, because sad news about that one. V-Stock is closing down at the Chesterfield Mall. They're closing my comic book store down, so they're moving it or closing. They're closing it down, moving it somewhere else. I don't know where they're moving it. It bums me out, because the person who bought the mall is wanting to turn it into apartments. I don't know who the fuck's going to live in a former mall. But they're shutting it down. Like, it's been kind of shitty lately for me. So I have to find a new comic book store to go to now, because V-Stock won't be existing by the end of this year in that area. So, and I ain't going back to my old comic book store, because I am not waiting to almost fucking noon for that store to open. I'm sorry. I miss the old ownership of the old comic book store I went to, because they opened early. They didn't wait till it's noon, we're gonna open, and we're gonna be open till 9. I'm not gonna wait that long. I'm sorry. I'm a morning person. I get up, I gotta get going. So, anyway, I bought 3 Detective Comics. I bought Detective Comics Villain of the Year, Mr. and Mrs. Freeze, because I love the cover. It's a pretty cool cover. It's a very twist ending cover. The cover of it shows Nora in her cryogenic tomb, or cryogenic area, and it has Batman on it. And when you open the cover, Nora becomes this villain, Mrs. Freeze, and Batman's stuck in a cryogenic tube. So it's a really cool twist ending cover. I love you more. I got Batman Detective Comics 1018, 1019. You see Batman take on a demon fucking spider, a giant fucking spider demon. It's a very it's a very, I hate to say this, but Detective Comics has become kind of boring, sadly. I enjoy Peter J. Tomasi writing. I understand like some writers go through like a bad run, they reach like I wouldn't say bad run, but they reach like the bad area of like a run, and they sometimes get stuck in a rut, and then they have to then they get going again. I really didn't enjoy this one. It's a Christmas story, which is weird. Like I said, I fell behind buying comics, and I decided to get some comics because I just kind of want to read something. Curse of the White Knight, Book 6, the DC Black Label. I sadly am not enjoying. Like I said, I so far I did not enjoy so far this run of Curse of the White Knight. I really don't enjoy it. Sean Murphy sort of is going into this Scott Snyder area of writing now. I don't enjoy it. Like he's trying to get to like this supernatural mythology thing. I ain't enjoying it. I don't like it. I wish it was something different. I like Azrael, the character. I love the design that Murphy made. I hope he kind of changes Azrael's look for the canon. Make it canon for DC. Like they did with Batgirl. I don't like his look of Nightwing. Nightwing now works for like the GCPD, and he has like a fucking hate relationship with Batman. Like he hates Batman, and he sides with the GCPD of taking down Batman and stuff. I think it was in the first book, and I don't like Dick Grayson in the story. I don't like how they portray him. The cover of it, oddly enough, I like, but I don't enjoy the story. I just don't really like it. Joker dies in this book. Spoiler alert. Harley Quinn shoots him in the head, killing him because Azrael releases this something inside Joker. Like Joker has like this split personality. There comes to a point where like Joker and Jack Napier have this two-faced moment. Like one side is Jack, the other side is Joker, and Harley shoots him in the head, saving their twins. And Batman makes a promise to Jack that he will take care of Harley and all that, yada 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 bullshit. I really don't like Curse of the White Knight. I want this book to end. I want it to end. The weird thing about it is, I enjoy Murphy's Von Freeze. I love that book. Von Freeze is a really good story. I really enjoy it, oddly enough. I like the story that Victor Freeze was sort of like friends with Thomas and Martha Wayne and helped, he saved Martha, who was giving birth to Bruce and all that. Like, I love that part. That was really a cool part. Like, it's like, oh my god, Victor Freeze was involved in the birthing of Bruce Wayne. He was a doctor that helped Martha deliver Bruce. That was a really cool part. Another one I bought, this came in the mail today, which was weird, because I ordered it not that long ago. How to draw Batman, Superman, and the other DC superheroes and villains, and I am not that good at drawing. So I decided to give myself a challenge for 2020, which is draw a character. I tried drawing Batman, and I am not that good. So, for me, I enjoy the books. I think they're not bad. Like, I've read the two, like, 1018 and 1019, and I don't know, I just really didn't enjoy it. I guess it's weird because you see like Batman fight this cult, and all of a sudden like one of the cult members shits out a giant demon spider out of their mouth. I guess it's like the one part where I was just like, okay, taking a break from this book. I guess it's a spider. It looks like a spider. Okay, so bear with me. It might not be a spider, but to me it looks like a spider. So anyway, so let's see. Do some of the. Hold on, I got a question right here. What do you think of the XFL game? I know you're a Battlehawks fan. I did enjoy the game. The last game they played against Houston, and we lost sadly like 28-24. But man, we made a good fucking comeback. I thought we made a good comeback. Which for me, I'm happy that we lost with that score, because if it was the Rams, it would be like 40 something to 16 or 40 something to 3. That's one thing I'm happy about, is we lost to that score. But man, we had a good comeback. I thought, the thing is, I cannot wait for the next game. I am a fan of the XFL. I think Vince McMahon is a genius. I heard things like he's like selling WWE. Like, I don't know if it's true. To be honest, like, I have not watched WWE. I have not watched AEW, because AEW did something that I do not agree with. They had a transgender woman become the women's champion, which I am dumbfounded that they did that. I know some people are going to be offended and upset by it, but I do not like that a woman who was born, I'm going to use air quote, woman born as a man, competing in a ring with women. I do not like that. I think it is very fucking dumb. I don't care what gender they now say they are. DNA and everything to it says you're a man. Bone structure, you're a man. So I don't like it. I don't like men competing against women and the marathon runs, track runs. Yeah, they might have long hair and it's braided, but they're a fucking man. And I don't like that. It's like the time they had a MMA fighter who transitioned to a woman get in the octagon and beat the shit out of a woman. And everyone was fine with it. It was like, what the fuck? I don't like that. I'm sorry. I don't care if Cody Rhodes gets butthurt about it. I don't like it. I don't like mixed gender matches. I don't like seeing men, beat up a woman in a wrestling ring. I don't like that. I don't like it. This isn't the 90s anymore. It's 2020. I know some female wrestlers are like, what about equality? It's like, I'm sorry. You compete against women. You don't compete against a man. That's the thing about Impact Wrestling. It got so dumb that they made a woman a World Heavyweight Champion. Tessa Blanchard. That is stupid. I'm sorry, that is just dumb. Of all things. And it's like it really just disrespects the championship. Well, what's left of it. But I don't like that. I don't think that men should be competing physically against a woman in an octagon, a wrestling ring, a wrestling mat, weightlifting, any of that. Women should not be, women should not be disrespected for their competition sport by a guy claiming to be a woman. South Park did the perfect episode commenting on it. I don't like what AEW is doing. I'm glad that WWE is not following the stupid circle of it. I don't like that. And if Cody Rhodes doesn't like people disagreeing with it, then tough shit, dude. This is a free country. We got to say whatever the hell we want to say. I just don't like that a man claiming to be a woman winning a women's championship. So, suck it. And I will say this, like, I am not the biggest Wonder Woman fan. I don't want to see a transgender woman replace Wonder Woman. That is disrespectful to the 80 years of Wonder Woman's existence. So, that is my thought of it as well. So, and the thing is, like, if they do that, I will buy the comics just to fucking review and destroy the shit out of that comic by reviewing it and giving my 2 cents into it. So, speaking of Wonder Woman, March 2020 has announced the Wonder Woman board game release. They're going to be releasing a Wonder Woman board game. Wonder Twins, God, Tyranny of the Justice League, and Wonder Twins 12. If there's ever like one comic I think they should cancel, it should be that. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of like reading, seeing what they have here. DC Comics has announced they are canceling Supergirl in May. Supergirl 37 got a new creative team. Now they're no longer handling Supergirl anymore. That's sad. That one, so. So. Anyway, but yeah, I did enjoy the XFL game, and I think it's anyway, to answer your question, yeah, I do enjoy the XFL. I'm happy that football is back in St. Louis. Because I know that a lot of people, I got like a Kansas City Chiefs shirt. My dad was on like a joyful Kansas City Chiefs thing, and he bought something, and he's like, I got you a shirt, and but I mean, like, I enjoyed it. I love it. Of course, I said to him, like, I'll buy you a Battlehawks hat. Because I've been looking for it. Like, now it's like, I think you have to, like, buy it online, which I think is kind of dumb. Hopefully they'll start selling it in, like, stores and stuff, like Battlehawks hats, shirts, actual hawks. Hopefully they'll get like a mascot for it. I mean, now they don't. The weird thing about it is, like, a lot of people kind of got upset by one thing, which was there's no cheerleaders in the XFL. A lot of people got upset by it. I feel their pain. I'm kidding. I think McMahon put it best. Like, it's basically about football, not about the showman's style of it. Which you really can't blame him, because, like, when he did the XFL the first time, you got The Rock coming out there, cutting a promo in the middle of a football field, which I think is still on YouTube. You could look that up. It was hilarious. He came out with his theme song, and he lowered the glasses, raised the eyebrow to the camera, then started cutting this promo, jabroni, something, I forget. Like, I remember seeing it, and I remember watching it. I remember watching the very first XFL game, and when it first launched, with my dad, and I remember I just looked at him like, I thought this was about football. and I remember, like, it got stupid. Like, the XFL the first time around, the first XFL, not the current. The current is best. the first time around, the first ever XFL, it got stupid. It got to the point where McMahon had a cameraman go into the cheerleaders' locker room to record the cheerleaders putting on their outfits or something. It was dumb. It was really dumb. I just sat there going like, I thought this was football. It was just like imagine, and the thing about it was I thought this was football. I didn't realize this was WWE, which it was. Now it's like XFL. But yeah, I mean, I heard McMahon was selling WWE. Like I've heard it. Like Jeff Bezos is interested. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like wrestling today, even though it's like supposedly like the second boom of wrestling and stuff, I honestly think that wrestling today has kind of gone its expiration date. Like I enjoy like now they're like talking about WWE, the WWE network. Like I buy the WWE network. Like me and my dad kind of put money together. Like we go in the WWE network half and half of like what we like. Like he watches World Class Championship Wrestling. I watch WCW because that's what I grew up watching, WCW and stuff. He watches Smoky Mountain, which I'm disappointed they never put the Smoky Mountain match between Undertaker and New Jack. I'm disappointed because I really wanted to see that. Like, imagine the irony of it. Like, you got the Undertaker against New Jack. New Jack is known for being scary and stuff. And for me, it's just like I enjoy watching like the old WCW stuff. Like that's watching Sting battle Macho Man or Sting battling Lex Luger, Vader, Hogan. Which I'll be honest, like the best match that Hogan and Sting had was Super Brawl. Like a lot of people always say Starrcade, but Super Brawl was a really good match. Like they had an actual good match. They actually went at it. It wasn't just a one-sided thing. So, like, if you ever want to watch a match between Sting and Hogan, go watch Super Brawl. That was a really good match between the two. Or watch the Nitro match where they had. That was a good match. Like I think it was the match on Nitro after Starrcade. I think it was. I don't remember, but they had a good match. So, and my favorite Hogan run was him as Hollywood Hogan. Like I know a lot of people love the yellow and red Hulkamania brother, but I like the Hollywood Hogan because he was a good bad guy. He was good as a villain. You just really just did not like him, type of thing. But I do. It's funny though. Like when I was younger, like I liked the Hollywood Hogan, but I think as I got older, I just sort of like appreciate the yellow and red Hulkamania. But of course, I didn't grow up in the 80s. I just didn't really care. I just did not like the cheesy, Hulk Hogan 80s style, but people love it. So anyway, let's get back to the comics instead of me boring you with pro wrestling. Rumor is now that Sony and Marvel to introduce a bisexual Spider-Man. A new rumor details that Marvel and Sony want to introduce a bisexual Spider-Man in the upcoming Spider-Verse live action. The rumor comes from We Got This Covered, who detailed that this bisexual Spider-Man will be introduced in a possible Spider-Verse live action film. Not only do they want a bisexual Spider-Man, according to the rumor, they want the bisexual Peter Parker to be Andrew Garfield's character from the Amazing Spider-Man films. Garfield expressed interest in seeing a gay Spider-Man back in 2013 when he was promoting the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Oh my god. In the interview, with Entertainment Weekly, Garfield detailed the conversation he had with producer Matt Tolmich. I always kept joking, but not joking, about MJ. I was like, what if MJ is a dude? Why can't we discover that Peter is exploring his sexuality? It's hardly even groundbreaking. So why can't he be gay? Why can't he be into boys? What a fucking weirdo. I'm sorry, like, Andrew Garfield is fucking weird. I kind of see the point, like, why Sony got, like, aggravated at and got rid of him. I'm sure, like, once this producer went back to Sony, I'm sure Sony's like, cancel the fucking sequel. I'm sure they were just like, fuck this, we're getting rid of this dude. We don't need this. Andrew Garfield hadn't been the only Spider-Man actor for the idea of introducing a gay or bisexual Spider-Man. Current Spider-Man and Peter Parker actor Tom Holland expressed support for a gay Spider-Man when he was asked about the possibility of promoting Spider-Man Far From Home. When he was asked about it, he responded, yeah, of course. I'm sure he just did not hear the question. I'm sure somewhere in his mind he was just like, I want this interview over. When asked how soon a gay Spider-Man could be for the MCU, Holland responded, I can't talk about the future of the character because, honestly, I don't know. And it's out of my hands, but I do know a lot of the future about the future of Marvels, and they're going to be representing a lot of different people in the next few years. We know that. I'll be honest with you, this is stupid. This is like the dumbest thing I have ever seen. I'll be honest with you, I do not support this idea. I honestly don't. I do not support this idea. I know it's going to be upsetting and angry. I know it's going to be upset a lot of people and anger a lot of people. That was my drink, the bubbly. But I don't support this idea. I really do not support it. I am thinking that this is dumb. This is pandering to an audience. And I honestly think that Marvel and Sony they don't need to be political about things. I really don't think they should do it. Because, I mean, honestly, like, when you see this entire pandering and, to a group of people, you're doing things that a lot of people just do not want to see. So anyway, I guess we're gonna be. Well, I want to read one more story because that was just like the dumbest story I've ever read. I sort of like my mind just went to Jello. Like when I read that, I was just thinking, this is stupid. Very interesting. This is in Phantoms and Monsters. Small living T-Rex dinosaur sighting in South Texas. This story kind of caught my attention when I saw it. Had to burp, so. But I want to read this one. So anyway, let's read it. Small T-Rex. I'm gonna read the alien one. I want to save the T-Rex Texas for another day. Anyway, Alien being killed by rancher after cattle mutilation. So, I'm going to get some of the drink, and we'll read the story. After a night of cattle mutilations, decides to guard the herd, and during the abduction attempt, an alien being killed. Then preserved in a... Alright, this person wrote, "Hi, in 1986, my dad and sister owned a cattle ranch in North Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. One morning, after finding several head of cattle mutilated under strange circumstances, my dad decided to guard the ranch during the night. Armed with a rifle along with myself, I was 15 at the time, and two of his friends. A few nights later, we noticed movement about 100 meters east of us. And there were 5 short grayish beings with large heads." Why is it always that? Why can't it always be like, I don't know, something different? You know what I mean? Like something unique. Why does it always have to be like the grays and stuff? The beings quickly entered one of the pens, proceed to float the calf out. The floating calf was very close to the ground. Sounds like something out of the Destroy All Humans video game. Remember that? Like the Destroy All Humans video game? It was really fun. No? Anyone? No. Anyway. The floating calf was very close to the ground, and the beings walked along in a shuffling manner. Shuffling manner. Sounds like George Jefferson. At the point, my dad and his friends began firing at the creatures. One of the beings seemed to be hit and fell to the ground, shrieking loudly. The calf also fell to the ground, while the other beings assisted their wounded companion. Sorry, I was going to say comrade. It would have been funny though if they shot the calf. Shot the being, and all of a sudden, you figure out, all of a sudden the calf just lands on the ground on top of him. Would you imagine how fucked up that would be? Like they walk over and the being's squished to the ground by the calf. How big are calves? Cattle calves. How big are they? How much do they weigh, I wonder? Let me look that up. I'm just thinking to myself, alright, the average weighing of a calf average of 86 pounds at birth and gain 2.5 pounds per day. So a calf would weigh, the average weighing of the weight would be around 609 pounds of steer and 587 pounds of heifers. The average weight of all calves are 598 pounds. Holy shit. That'd be fucking awesome if they shot the alien being and a 595 pounds calf just lands on top of them. Would you imagine? Imagine that, like a small gray being just being squished by a 500-pound fucking cow. That would be so awesome. I don't know why. I just think of that. That would be awesome though. I would be I would be laughing if I did that. Shot a gray alien being and all of a sudden it falls to the ground all of a sudden. That would be so awesome.
At the point, my dad is all right. The being seemed to be hit and falling, shrieking. The helped companion, who was withering in obvious pain. The men fired again on the beings, who then ran quickly into the woods, leaving the injured being behind. The wounded being attempted to run away, but then was shot in the back by my dad's friend, laying silently on the ground, dying. My dad then struck it on the head with the rifle, but caving in the top of the head, it died very shortly after. Damn, they just murdered that dude. I actually feel bad for the alien. Pictures of the dead alien were being taken and hidden away. Oh, time out. Why all of a sudden, like...
The only possible evidence, this is what bugs the fuck out of me with aliens, UFOs, all this shit, is like you get all these evidence, they claim evidence, then it turns out to be fake. If I shot an alien, I would take photos of it, upload it on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. I would be showing this off. Be like, look at this. Yeah. I killed E.T. That's what I would have done. These fuckers are just like, we shot it. Just believe our story. Believe our story. I ain't gonna believe the fucking story now. If you got photos of aliens that you supposedly shot in the back, then hit it in the head with the butt of a rifle, and you take photos, and we took photos, but it was taken away. Where did you take the photos? Where did they go? Don't tell me it was in a coffee tin can you buried in a desert. Where did the fuck... Now, you got like the jar. Why didn't you take a photo of a jar? I mean, no one's gonna believe it. If it's like it'd be like a plastic alien being floating in a jar filled with green piss. That would be the only thing people would be like. Of course, that's what I would say. But I am so tired of this damn fucking shit that people are saying like, we got photos of alien beings, but they were taken away. Your story means shit at that point. I don't believe you. You're just making this up. So, that right there just bugs me now. The pictures of the dead alien being were taken and hidden away. Where did you hide them? Like, the one thing about it is, like, I believe more of Bigfoot existing than I do aliens. And here's the thing about it. Why would aliens come here? Why would they come to this earth? Like, if they saw, like, the only thing that people watch and are obsessed about is the Kardashians and Jenners, and Donald Trump got elected, they would avoid this earth pronto. They would put it on lockdown. They would build an invisible wall so no other alien beings could come here. That's what they would do. They would build a wall around the planet. So, I am just like tired of this whole like believe the alien theory. It's like I don't believe it anymore. I don't believe this story. It was hidden, taken away. My dad preserved the body in a large jar filled with alcohol and fluoride.
He stored it in the cellar of our home and told me to never mention it to my mother and siblings. I remember seeing it several more times after the incident. Why didn't you not take photos of it? Or video?
Or anything? Why do I have to believe somebody's word of something? Why can't I just see the photos of it myself? This is stupid. Like, if you got, like, E.T. dead in a jar, you would take photos of it. Like, if my grandpa hypothetically shot an alien and has it, like, in a jar with alcohol and fluoride, I would take photos of it. I would. I would. In 1999, my dad suddenly passed away. His friends think he was killed by the being since he disappeared several days before his burned body was found in a remote area. I do feel that my dad's death was related to the beings we witnessed that strange night. The body of the being supposedly is kept by one of my dad's friends who fears the local and U.S. authorities would somehow prosecute him for his involvement of killing it. Now I live in Texas, and honestly, I hope I never see that body again, though I do believe it should be disclosed that it exists. I don't believe your story.
I don't. I don't believe this story.
I think it's 100% bullshit. It is the dumbest thing I have ever seen. I believe in time travel and other, multiverses than I do this story. I believe the multiverse theory more than I believe aliens exist. So anyway, I don't believe the alien story. So anyway, I guess that's going to be wrapping up the podcast. I will do its episode tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to talk about and stuff. I forgot to read the Titans book. I guess tomorrow we'll read the Titans story. Anyway, I do like the new books I bought. I do love the how to draw characters, even though I am not the greatest artist around. I like the book. I just like it. I think it's really cool. It's very Timiverse. It's very Paul Dini, Bruce Timm style of art. I think it's really cool. I think it's by far phenomenal to try to attempt to draw. Even though I know someone who's a very, very talented artist, far better than me. The comics I do like the detective comics. I do collect a lot of detective comics because I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's really the you are the best. No, you are the best. I do collect detective comics because that's how Batman started. I want to somehow some way throughout my journey of doing things, I want to collect every detective comics book that I could get. I want, even though I cannot collect the first appearance of Batman in Detective Comics because that is
very expensive. I don't have $1 million to get it. But I love, I love every version of Detective Comics there is, which is, Detective Comics number 27, but anyway, I like to find copy of it, a reprint, something, instead of the actual comic, because I think one's in a national library because it's landmark history right there. So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. We will read Teen Titans Go
from the Giant.
I don't remember which book, but we will read it. Anyway, I will tomorrow
posting another episode. I am sorry that I didn't get to do Monday or Tuesday's episode. I am really sorry about that. I feel bad
about it. But anyway, I am doing a lot better. I feel a lot better. So anyway, I will be back for Thursday and Friday's episode. I'm kind of want to do a morning show Saturday. I might. I don't know. But anyway, it's been a really fun. I love hosting the show. I love talking comics and stuff. So anyway, yeah. So what's this one? What do you think of the Freeze, Mr. and Mrs. Freeze story for Detective Comics? I really enjoy it. I love that they brought Nora into the story. I did read part of Villain of the Year, which is 1015 of Freeze, where Victor tells Nora that he doesn't want to be a villain anymore, that he wants to do good now since he has her. And this version of Nora is like a villain, but it's revealed that there's like 3 different versions of Nora.
That Freeze has, and that
Someone made a clone of like different Noras, and the version Freeze had is like the villainous
version.
And I think I don't remember how it ends. So, like I said, like I quit. I didn't buy comics like right after. I stopped at 1014. I didn't buy like the rest of them. So, 1015 I really enjoy, but 1018 and 19 I'm confused. Like seeing a giant demon spider climb out of somebody's mouth and Batman has to fight. That one kind of made me be dumbfounded. I hope that they do like actual detective comics where it's like a mystery. I would love to see like a Batman murder mystery happen. So anyway, that's my thoughts of it. So yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow. I am going to read Teen Titans Go tomorrow. I have to. I love Teen Titans Go. So anyway, I will tomorrow. So anyway, hope everyone has a good time.